if indeed we are to lead others and step outside our own industry, how do we innovate that? How do we do that? So let's think about innovation for 2 seconds. For millennia, innovation predominantly meant hardware, right? I made a better printing press. Now, the printing press that we have today is basically the same thing that Gutenberg did. It's a thing that goes like this. It goes faster, sure, but it's basically the same thing, right? The airplane is basically the same physics, right? It's 100% the same physics. But for many, many, many years, innovation meant hardware. And hardware is very expensive, which is why the only organizations that could innovate were governments and large companies, right? Because you could afford to. The computer and the internet completely changed that. The invention of the personal computer, and Steve Wozniak, one of the founders of Apple, talked about this. He says, I imagine a day in which an individual could compete against a corporation. The computer allows that, where literally one person can compete against a company. That's incredible. And the speed at which innovation can happen, because innovation in the hardware model is slow and expensive, in the software model, it's fast and cheap, right? So think of your iPhone. The hardware is very expensive. It's over $1,000, which is insane. And when they release it, it actually has software on it that is imperfect. And they know it's imperfect, but they give it to you anyway. And then very quickly, they start fixing it. And the patches start coming out, right? And sometimes it's minor. You don't even see the difference. And sometimes it's major. You get a major overhaul. And eventually, the software gets too big that the hardware can no longer contain it, and then you have to buy a new piece of expensive hardware. And this is the model that old companies have to learn to embrace. And if you look at the companies that are dominating right now, whether it's Netflix, it's still big, it's had its issues, but it's still big. Netflix, which reinvented film and television. Tesla, which is reinventing cars. Amazon, which is reinventing retail. They're all new companies. They're all Facebook, Google, TikTok. They're all data companies. The old style of big innovation, those companies aren't the biggest companies anymore. They used to be, but they're not the biggest companies anymore. It's data. And it's because of their speed at which they can make change. And so the companies that are struggling are the companies that are trying to simply add data to their hardware model. So if we add a flat screen TV to our car, we're innovative. No, 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 no. Tesla built an iPhone. Tesla built an iPhone on wheels. What makes that car remarkable is not that it's an electric car. It's that my 2002 Tesla and my friend's 2019 Tesla do the exact same things because the car can update itself. We have all the same features. It's not the old way where, yeah, I don't have those features. I have last year's model, right? That's gone.